welcome to Brick Building Babe. Today we are going to be looking at another likely retiring set in 2025 to go over its potential for Lego investing. So let's jump into it. So the set we're going to talk about is Ahsoka Tano's T-6 Jedi Shuttle. So as you can see here, it came out September 1st of 2023. So if it does retire at the end of 2025, that is just over a 2-year shelf life, 2 year and a few months. And I think that's a fairly good um, good shelf life. However, let's get into the actual analysis. So looking at the set, um, this set was primarily based on the Ahsoka show. It comes with 4 minifigures. It's actually a pretty cool build. The way that this is designed, I'm not sure if it shows in the video. I don't think it shows in the video, but these wings actually like rotate around. So it's a pretty cool and interesting build. Here you can see the wings going, kind of around the base. Um, so overall, I'm not saying I dislike the set. I think it's fairly cool. It's kind of plain. When we look at all the details, I'm not even sure. I never built the set. I don't know if these are printed or stickers, but either way, there's not much detail on it. It's just kind of some gray and red, so there's not much exclusivity. But let's take a look at the minifigures because that's definitely a draw. So there are 4 minifigures in this set. We have Ahsoka, who's not exclusive. She also came in the advent calendar, so that's a pretty bad sign because there's usually a lot of those in the market. Um, we have Merrick. Marok. I haven't seen the show, so I don't know. He's exclusive to the set, and he goes new somewhere between $11 and $12 or so. Of course, he's still available in the shuttle, so that may go up. We have Professor Huyang, also exclusive to the set. Goes for slightly less, between $8 and $9, brand new. And then we have Sabine or Sabine, I've heard both. And this is also $9 to $10. So on a minifig basis, 3 of them are worth about $10 a piece. So you're pretty much buying the set for the minifigures. So definitely keep that in mind if you're looking to keep this as a potential investment. I believe that more people that are looking to buy the set are looking to buy the minifigures than they are to buy the entire set. There's a lot more really cool shuttles out there that I think are more desirable. So, as a whole, I think the minifigures help the set, but people in the future are not going to be buying the set, in my opinion, sealed just to get the minifigures. But we'll see. So let's look on Amazon. In the past month, this is 6K bought. That's actually pretty good. We have to keep in mind that the last month was the holiday season, so these are a bit inflated. We're doing this in January of 2025. You can see the list price is $80. Forgot to mention that when we were looking back here. List price is $80, and if we look at the piece per price ratio, it's a little inflated. We usually like 10 cents a piece, and we're only looking at 600 pieces for the 80 price point. But because there's 3 exclusive minifigures, that is something to keep in mind. But you can see right now it's on sale for $70 rather than the 80. But if we look at the buy box, where everyone looks, you can see it ships from Amazon, but it's sold by someone else. So this is a fulfilled by Amazon buy box. Um, so if we look at the Keepa results, so Keepa again tells us the trends of Amazon over the lifetime of the set. We can see that from pretty much when the set first came out until mid 2024, uh, mostly we saw Amazon had it in stock and at the list price. There was quite a bit of fluctuation on other listings, as you can see here, that were pretty far below that $80 price point. So from a supply perspective, it certainly in the first year of its life was well supplied. If we look at the buy box, again, that's this section here, we see that the buy box was also typically lower than the retail price, with Amazon being the one having it in stock and the buy box being very close to that price point, with it sometimes approaching 70. It is showing that doesn't it's not valued to be more than the $80, but it seems that many people are buying it below the $80. And especially in 2024, we saw some heavy, heavy discounts. So Amazon did have it in stock, but you can see up until um, and through from August till end of November, early December, that price kind of just kept dropping. They just kept putting the set on sale, on sale, on sale. So what's the reasoning for this? I'm not sure. Maybe there is an abundance of inventory, and knowing that it might retire at the end of 2025, they wanted to hit the holiday season hard and kind of get the set out. But I do recall, I believe that there was a sale for $45 if I'm right. I can't remember if it was at Walmart or Target for this, and that was a pretty good pickup because um, if we look on here, Amazon did have, excuse me, let's get rid of everything else. Amazon did have it for $45, basically for Black Friday for a very short period, and then it went back up. The buy box also followed that because Amazon was having that major sale. And so in the new year, we can see it comes back up, but it only comes up to that 65, 70 perspective, like route. And I honestly think it might stay here for the rest of the year. So in retirement, many people aren't going to look at that $80 price point as the MSRP. They might have known that it pretty much has been selling for $63. Um, so the market is pretty much telling us that they don't value it at $80, they value it more at $70. So even if after retirement it goes up to 100, the market thinks that it was really worth 70. Um, so you're trying to shoot for a $30 profit on there. But one kind of good sign is that it does have relatively high ratings. We have a 4.8 on Amazon. We have a 4. What's the actual rating? I think they put a decimal down here. Oh, not enough to make a conclusion, but it looks like over 4.5. But what I want to look at is Brickset. So Brickset also allows you to put in rankings on a 5-star system. It shows a little bit lower at 3.8. That's definitely a little concerning because this is likely more the target market, with it being just the exclusive minifigures. A lot of younger kids aren't necessarily going to want to buy the set, especially if it gets really expensive, just for some exclusive minifigures. They'll want it for the ship. Um, and yeah, I guess we'll see kind of what happens there. But if we look at the collections, 2000 won it, so that seems pretty standard for a lot of sets that that I've been reviewing that are retiring in 2025. So I'm definitely trying to learn a little bit more of what a really good um, number in this wanted list is. But there are 10,000 that do own it. So for every 5 people that own it, 2 want it, and that's not that bad of a ratio, I would say. So I definitely think there's some demand on the set, and I think a lot of it is around these minifigures. I mean, they are pretty cool. Um, and I think some of the pieces, actually, yeah, let's take a look at this. I'm very interested to see if this guy's helmet is exclusive to the set. So let's look at him. If we look at the minifigure inventory, we can look at this helmet. And yeah, the helmet is exclusive. And I do feel like, oh, wow. So I think this piece, if you buy sets to hold or part out, this piece I think might be the holy grail of the entire set. Um, this piece alone is going for $10, and I think it's just a really good piece for castle mocks, and people love their castle mocks. Um, so knowing this is completely exclusive and it's brand new, that also factors in. Um, this is also exclusive too. Very interesting. And this is going for a solid $5. So I bet the part at value, if you're not familiar um, with how Bricklink works. So Bricklink is a marketplace that you can sell individual pieces, individual minifigures, as well as sets. You can kind of do it all. Um, and there's if you took all the pieces inside a Lego set and divided them up and sorted them, you could list each piece, as in each plate, each tile, each brick, as well as all the minifigure and minifigure parts and pieces separately on a Bricklink store. And someone can go in and say, I need this piece, I need this piece. Maybe I want, like, I have this minifigure, but I'm missing the head, that type of thing. So I have a funny feeling that the part out value of this set would actually be pretty high. So the set is 76362. Um, let's see. I forget how to look up the part value. I haven't looked at it in a long time. And they did change everything on here. So, um, I will have to check on that. Anyway, if I figure that out by the end of this, I'm not sure. But what I'm basically saying is this guy from a parting value is like really high. So some of what I do isn't just buying and holding and reselling Lego in an investment, it's also reselling in different formats. And this is probably a good set that you could part out. You take the minifigures out of there. You could either sell the minifigures individually, or if you have a good Bricklink store, as I mentioned, you could part out the pieces for this guy because they are really cool pieces that I think are going to be very desirable by a lot of castle mock builders, and you may be able to better earn back your money as opposed to holding the set sealed. So that is a different strategy that I use. Um, I don't have this massive store. I don't sell on Amazon. I don't even sell on eBay. I mostly sell on Whatnot. And currently I'm just holding a lot of sets because I'm getting just the beginning of my journey in this Lego investing. And I have only pretty much sold most of my sealed sets locally. That way I don't have to worry about fees, but I also don't have to worry about packaging and the box showing up potentially damaged. I do sell minifigures and parts and pieces and some used sets um, online on Whatnot primarily, and some on Bricklink. They just seem to be a little bit easier to package, and my experience selling on them has been very, very positive. Um, so let's look at um, let's look at eBay sales. So as I expected, the eBay sales are going to be pretty low. I was expecting them to be in that $40 to $50 range because we saw some really good deals on Black Friday. I kind of figured that was going to be the going rate on the secondhand market. Um, so definitely seems to be a bit of supply. If there wasn't a lot of supply, we would see some higher prices here, but um, that's not a great indication for this set. So let's look at my final rankings then. So the Ahsoka Jedi Shuttle, supposedly retiring end of 2025. The shelf life, pretty decent. It has a 2-year shelf life. We saw some really good discounts on it in last year's Black Friday, so I can only imagine what we'll see in this year's Black Friday. If I were to invest in this set, I would have to buy it probably at least at 30. 30 gives me the opportunity to pretty much sell the minifigures, at least get my money back, and maybe sell the shuttle separately if someone's interested, or build it and sell it. I'm not entirely sure. But discount wise, we have seen some good discounts. This hasn't gone completely at MSRP. But at the same time, when we do see a set that's heavily discounted a lot, and in the last year we've seen that, it often means that there's either too much supply or it's just not selling as well. But the 6,000 in the last month seems pretty solid. But it also had some really good deals. So take that as it will. The demand, I would say, is solid in the middle. It seems to be really good. It seems to be a lot of people buying. 10,000 people have it in their set on Brickset, 6,000 in the last month. eBay sales in the last few days. Like, it's definitely being bought. Its potential growth, I don't think is great, considering the market is currently valuing it at under $70. The likelihood of people valuing it even more to make a decent profit, I think is going to be really challenging. So you could convince me that this could be a D in potential growth. Again, when I say growth, I usually mean in reference to a buy price. And when it comes to Lego investing, that's something you always need to consider is how much you paid for it to begin with. If you paid $10, the potential growth is great 'cause you could probably sell it for 50. Easy. That's lower than what most people have bought it while it was not retired. But if I usually reference to potential growth versus kind of what the market's telling me the price is. And that's typically how I analyze it. So potential growth from the market saying 65 to 70, I think is pretty low. I think it would probably be even hard to sell it at 80, but um, that's my opinion. Its supply seems to be really high. The fact that it has been discounted for so long, and it hasn't sold out on Amazon pretty much at all since it was first released, says there's lots of supply. There's a lot of sellers on Bricklink. There seems to be many listings being bought and sold on eBay. It's collectability. I guess maybe I'd move the collectability up potentially because of those four minifigures, but I think that makes the entire set's collectability pretty low, so that's why I kept it there. It's a pretty boring ship, relatively speaking. Um, so that puts my overall ranking at a D. So I don't think this is a great set for investing because of everything I have discussed. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. Do you have any for investing? What was your buy-in price? Um, Always love to hear what you guys are thinking in the community. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to address them. And similarly, if there's any other sets in particular you want me to analyze, I would love to do that for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this informational and non-financial advice um, investing analysis, entertainment purposes only video. Um, and hope to see you guys in the next video. I'm looking forward to looking into a few more sets and learning more and more about Lego and the potential for investing. So I will see you guys in the next video, and I'm the brick building babe. Have a good one.